What is going on, guys? This is DaYan Gaming. Today I'm going to give you all a tutorial on how to set up your DaYan TengYun V2 M. So the DaYan TengYun V2 M is a flagship cube released by DaYan and is a success of the DaYan TengYun. So the DaYan TengYun V2 M is a pretty good mid-range cube because of its core adjustment system and its magnetic adjustment system, which was not present in the DaYan TengYun because it just has stationary and fixed magnets. We'll be talking about these systems later in the video. And disclaimer, this is my opinion and this is just how I would like the cube to be and how I set up the cube. So please don't get angry at me in the comments. And saying that, let's get into the video. So before we actually start about the systems in this cube, we are going to just talk about what comes with the box and how it's going to help you. So these are some spare springs. The taller ones are for this inner part of the adjustment system, and the wider ones are for the outer part of the adjustment system. This Phillips screwdriver, which is used to just unscrew and screw this in. This flathead screwdriver, which is used to adjust the magnets, and this contraption thing, which is used to adjust both the inner or the outer parts of this system. So these are all what you get in the box. There's another thing that you will not get in the box but you'll need a lot, and that is lubricant. So what lubricant basically does, it reduces the speed of the cube if it is weights 3 to 5, and it also increases stability. Some lubricants also increase speed, that is from weight 1 to 2. Weight is just a way of measuring how the thickness or the viscosity of our lubricant. So if the lubricant is from 1 to 3, it is a very speedy lubricant. It's very thin. And it can also make the cube a bit fast. If the lubricant ranges from 3 to 5 and above in terms of weight, it is a very thick kind of lubricant and it just increases stability. So talking about these, now let's get into the systems. So first we're going to talk about the easiest one, which is the magnet system. So the magnet system here just consists of 3 magnets. The higher the number, the weaker the strength. So we're gonna have like one which is the strongest. I've set it in 2 because I don't want it to be too strong, neither do I want it to be too weak, because 3 is going to be the weakest and 1 is going to be the strongest. Magnets are there in cubes basically to just stop this kind of movement. What happens in most non-magnetic cubes is that the cube just comes over like this, and when it can't color cut very well, you get some valuable time of your solves. That's why magnets were put inside cubes, to reduce the chances of this happening. Although they still do happen, but they happen very less. Onto the toughest part of the cube, and which is the core adjustment system. So the core adjustment system consists of mainly 3 parts. The screwdriver, which as usual tightens or loosens the cube. It also allows for the adjustment of these inner and outer circles, which I'll talk later in this video. So now moving on to the inner and the outer circles. The inner part just helps in compressing or decompressing the spring that is there in the center. The strongest value is, I think the strongest value is 1.2 and the weakest is 0.6. So the stronger, the more the value, the stronger the spring is and the tighter your cube is, but it won't move as much. The less the number is, the less tighter the spring is, the more the cube moves, but it's more prone to lockups, pops, explosions and contwists. Now in the outer part, it just increases or decreases the distance between the centerpiece and the core. So if the minimum value here is 0 and the maximum is 1.5. So if you set it in 1.5, your cube is going to be pretty tight and it's going to look somewhat like this, and it accounts for a lot of stability while also not compromising movement. If you keep it at 0, it's going to pop a lot, so I would recommend to not do that. Now on to my settings. So my settings are in the inner circle, in the screw I would turn it at least 7 to 8 times. Don't mind that the screw just fell down. In the inner circle is at 1, 1, and the outer circle is at 1.5. I set the inner circle at 1 because I don't want to compromise some stability, but it also works for some speed. 1.5 because I want to keep the cube a bit more secure. And this magnet I have set the value as 2 because I want to keep the cube pretty movable and I don't want it to stop moving in the middle of a solve. And then I apply lubricant here, at least very little I apply on these edge pieces because I still want to maintain some stability. And yeah, that is my settings, and this is where the video ends. So thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Stay sturdy and safe, and bye until the next video.